Ladies and gentlemen, Oleksandr Usyk escaped the worst loss in boxing history. And ladies and gentlemen, the stoppage for me was a robbery. Ladies and gentlemen, a robbery stoppage. Yes, Oleksandr Usyk dropped Rico in the 11th round. But Rico was about to win that fight. It was going to be one round left right before the bell rang in the end of the 11th round. The referee stopped the fight, should have never stopped the fight. Rico's corner went crazy, right? You needed one more round, and Rico was winning. I'm going to tell you like this. Most of the rounds in that fight, he already bagged like 8 rounds. He was winning this fight. The referee saved Oleksandr Usyk's win, bounce, respect, and then more importantly, respect of this era of heavyweight. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk is one of my favorite fighters, but Oleksandr Usyk is no longer a pound for pound number 1, and I don't even think he's a pound for pound number 2 because Rico is a novice. Yes, he's a prestige elite fighter in kickboxing, but when it comes to the sweet signs, we all know that's a novice. Turkey Al Sheikh, please stop with the spectacles, because as a matter of fact, you exposing the heavyweight boxers. We all know that Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, that Francis Ngannou probably should have won that fight. That exposed Tyson Fury, exposed this heavyweight era, and then because prior to that fight, people were saying that Tyson Fury could be any heavyweight of any era because he was the prestige, he was the best that we had to offer in the sport of boxing. Oleksandr Usyk is the best that we have to offer in the sport of boxing, especially in the heavyweight division. And ladies and gentlemen, he got exposed bad. He looked like the novice in there outside of the 11th round in which he stopped him. He had a tough time timing Rico. Rico looked like the one that had the better fame. Rico had the better motor. Rico had the better stamina, in my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, Oleksandr Usyk escaped the worst loss in boxing history and help with the referee. The referee, your license should be taken away. Hey, yo, this is a fight, and a fight that was going all the way to Rico. And look, I don't even know who Rico is that much, but I didn't even want to see this fight. But I had to see a fight because I'm a pundit and I'm a boxing fan, and I got to know what the hell is going on. Well, I'm going to tell you what the hell is going on. Oleksandr Usyk should have I'm not going to say lose that fight because he could have gone to the 12th round and stopped them and stuff like that. And yeah, the 11th round in which the referee was taking his time and giving the mouthpiece, because when Oleksandr Usyk dropped Rico, the mouthpiece, he should have just counted and let them go along with the 11th round in which he was gonna be saved by the bell anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a terrible stoppage, robbery, controversial, and it goes back to when Oleksandr Usyk had that controversial victory with Danny Dubois, which Danny Dubois hit him with a legal body shot, but Oleksandr Usyk did finish that fight, and then he finished him in the rematch, in which they were right. Forget about the controversy. But this right here, people are going to call for a rematch of Rico and Oleksandr Usyk right now in the sport of boxing. Please, Turkey Al Sheikh, I know you say that you respect boxing, and I understand this is not your fault. This is these elite fighters that you're giving so much money in the twilights of their career, and they're going to say no. They're getting more money fighting less competition. Think about it. Canelo Alvarez just got $80 million to fight William Skull. Yeah, he a boxer, but he ain't going to say no to that opportunity. You understand what I'm trying to say? Oleksandr Usyk is not going to say no to that opportunity. Tyson Fury is not going to say no to that opportunity. They're not motivated by this. They're only motivated by the money. And if you're going to put these elite boxers in there in your circus fight, they're not going to give you the best. They're just going to expose the sport of boxing. We got misfits. We got shout out to Jake Paul. Jake Paul went 7 rounds with Anthony Joshua, even though that Anthony Joshua broke his jaw. Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't know how this is good for the respect of boxing. The business boxing is alive and well, but the respect in boxing is at an all-time low. Anybody gonna be like from any other combat world, MMA, kickboxing, sumo wrestling, WWE, they are not, now more than ever, people look down on the sport of boxing. It's all smoke and mirrors. From the ranking system to belt holders is not champion, they just belt holders. This exposes it all. We cannot knock anybody that comes out the woodwork and say, you know what, I could beat the heavyweight champion of the world. We got to give him the benefit of the doubt that he could challenge the best heavyweight of the world. This is embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen. Oleksandr Usyk, I love you, but you're no longer no pound for pound number 1, or maybe not even 2.